He's the bassist of an instrumental power trio that have been rocking since 2015. They want to break free of cliches and bring new sounds to metal music, which they achieve with their upcoming album, Prosthetic Memories, out August 14th. Rene Rodriguez, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hear more about this album, your guys' music, you, anything like that. But to start things off, I was trying to write that intro, come up with like a good way to summarize what you guys do, but hearing directly from you, someone in the band, how would you kind of describe this band to other people or to new listeners?
I mean, pretty self-explanatory. We're an instrumental band. We're a heavy instrumental band,
Hmm.
So, first thing I always tell people is that we don't have a singer, just so they know right off the bat,
Yeah.
don't expect vocals. But, um, yeah, man, we just kind of go up there, do our thing, and that's kind of how we've been doing it for the better part of 20 years.
Wow.
Even
Yeah.
before the Coyote Man project happened. We've been jamming together since high school. So
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah, but
So
yeah, just to describe it, it's just a heavy instrumental band.
yeah. So where does that decision come from to not have a vocalist? Is it just you guys are more instrument people? You didn't want to look for a singer, find a singer. You like the instrumental sound. What was the like thought process behind it?
Um, so we started with the singer, way
Gotcha.
back when,
Hmm.
way back when. And then stuff didn't work out, and it just so we would just practice and with no singer, and I guess we weren't really looking for one. And then it kind of just became a thing. People would, anytime, we'd have friends over there like, man, you guys sound good, just instrumental. And we kind of just kept it that way. And then
Yeah.
our writing changed a bit where we make it, I guess more instrumental and not for a singer.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean that's the best compliment I feel like. Like even I do some music production on my own and I can't sing or do any vocals and so I'm big on like I'll produce something out, make an instrumental and then try to find a vocalist for it. And that was some advice I got on like when you know a song's in a good place or close to finished of like if you just listen to the instrumental and it holds your attention, if it sounds good, you can listen to that then like a vocalist is just gonna add to that and really polish it off. And so like it's huge for me, and I love hearing instrumental tracks or instrumental music that's like a finished product and can stand alone.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you
Um,
actually? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
no, 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 go ahead, you're good.
I was just gonna ask about like the writing process. Is it mostly jamming, coming up with cool riffs? Who starts it? How does a new song from Coyote Man come about?
It usually starts with Augie, our guitar player. Um, he'll come with the riff, and then me and Ian will come in right after, or actually this album, uh, what is it, Interpreting Dreams, this was kind of the first song that I was able to, I'm sorry, I was able
That's all
to
right.
fully,
Nice.
yeah, Interpreting Dreams. That's the song that I was, able to contribute to this album. Like that
Mhm.
was that was a song that I wrote in like 2016, and we kind of just put it together over the past few years. And but I mean, besides that one, it's pretty much Augie. Augie, he's the one who kind of steers the ship,
Nice.
musically, and then we just kind of follow, and so.
Yeah, yeah. And how when you mentioned that song coming from like a while back and you bring it back for this album, are there a lot of songs that you find yourselves coming back to bringing back to life for new projects, or what's the split between like polishing off old music and like writing something completely new recently?
So this album too has some old riffs from over a decade,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
yeah, even stuff that we recorded demos on. back in the day for other projects, like, we brought that stuff into this album as well, and it just fit perfect. It felt right. So, um, but I feel like as of late, after, like we recorded this album, like, we're kind of slowly writing new stuff as well. And I feel
Hmm.
like that stuff is more jam based, like we'll just all go in and just whatever, just jam it out. That's kind of how these new songs have been. But it's been fun. It's been real fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Awesome. So getting into this album, the latest single from it, Zealotry, is that which one is that? Is that a newer thing? Is that bringing back an old riff? Where does that come
no,
in?
that's a new
Okay,
riff. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
cool.
that one. That's actually the Zealotry. We've been playing for a couple years now. Like
Mm,
we used to play that song live. That was actually like the first song that we've written for the new album. So, but
awesome.
that was before we even, I guess, we're thinking about writing the other songs. It was, we've been playing that one for a couple years now live and stuff like that. So, but that's all new stuff.
Yeah, yeah, cool. And then yeah, so that comes in. How do you pick like that and War Hatchet to kind of be these lead off singles for the album? How do you go about picking these? Was there something special about them? Anything in particular that you guys were like, oh, let's have these lead off the rollout?
Um, I think, we would go back and forth on what we wanted to be the single, and
Hmm.
I just felt like these two were the most powerful ones off the album, like the most powerful and I guess catchy, like I guess what would be radio
Yeah,
friendly or whatever. I wanted to go. I mean, there was some other songs that I would like to have made our single, but I I feel like these were two perfect songs though, to put out there and kind of get people excited, to see what else is on the album.
yeah, yeah. And now for the album, going more into like the visual side, this cover art, it's super cool, but also a little weird. And like, how do you decide on this like visual aesthetic for the album?
So we wanted to go a different route. If you look at our past single covers or album covers, it was more art,
Yeah,
like and um
that is something I was going to bring up. Exactly, that like split
right,
from the older style. So
right. So we felt going into this album that we definitely wanted to get away from that. And Augie was always talking about this picture, like, so I guess the picture is that's his aunt in the picture, and it's from Mexico, and I don't know what year, but it was like Day of the Dead, uh, like event or whatever.
celebration. Yeah,
So
yeah,
right, so they got the kids together and they took a picture, and that's what came out. And when he brought it, it was instant. I was like, yeah, that's got to be the cover. And we just did a few changes to the kid on the end with the eyes, and
yeah,
that was it. Everything else is just from,
yeah.
just regular from the
Yeah.
picture. Yeah. So
That's cool. I mean, it looks awesome. I feel like even with that backstory, it's super cool. Like the album being called Prosthetic Memories, and then have like having this picture from an
exactly.
actual like family event or family memory is so cool.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's a great way to tie it all together, even if it's not, even if it's a bit different than what you've done in the past. But
Yeah.
um,
I really like all the other, album covers and stuff that we did, but I think this one, um, it definitely stands out. Like to me, like, we got to ask ourselves, like, what if we seen this at the record store?
yeah,
Like, is that something you'd be like, oh, that's cool, and like we're pretty proud of it, like we're pretty excited. So
yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Hey heroes, sorry to interrupt that podcast episode, which I hope you are enjoying, but I wanted to tell you about my clothing line, Quest Clothing. Ever since I started really pursuing YouTube and music and all these creative things that I do, I've dreamed about starting this clothing line specifically. I had the name, I had the idea like for years before I started it, and now it's finally here. You can wear clothes like this. I have sweatshirts available, t-shirts, even clothing for like my music with cover arts and lyrics and things like that. It's all super, super cool. And right now is the best way for you guys to support me across everything I do. So be sure to check out the Quest Clothing web store with the link in the description and follow at Shop Quest Clothing on Instagram for updates about collections, discounts, things like that. Anyways, I don't want this self-sponsorship to take too long, so let's get back to the episode. Are you going to record stores a lot? I try to go to any like local ones I can find pretty regularly, but I think it's awesome to just like look through crates even if you don't get anything. So are you going much, or is it just
Mm-mm.
this like thought process
Nah,
for the
I mean,
cover art?
for oh no, oh you mean to get inspiration or just
Well,
going in general?
just since you mentioned like, oh, imagine seeing this in a record store. Like,
Oh,
I
right,
was
right,
wondering
right,
if
right.
that's from you going a lot or anything, or just like a thought experiment that you do.
Yeah, no, it's just I like going to record stores, but I there's so much stuff I want to get, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna spend all this
yeah,
money. So yeah. No, it was just, just a thought process. Like, if someone sees it and they're like, oh, that looks cool, like
hmm
I guess they could judge us,
yeah, yeah.
by
Th-
the
This is
judge a
something
book
you
by your
can't
cover,
judge by a
like, yeah,
cover.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll be cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, and then well, let's go back to some of the earlier stuff because I wanted to bring up like Time Crystals, for example, which has I think it's up there for like one of your more popular ones, but I thought it was
Mhm.
like super cool. Just take me into the process of making that song and what went into that process.
Oh man, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
Um,
It's fine to not remember like only have bits
yeah,
and pieces too. It's fine.
sometimes it's just we've been going at it for so long, since um pretty much since like the pandemic, we kind of just locked ourselves in a room and just like started putting stuff out. So
Yeah.
um all I remember is that uh when Augie started playing it, it gave me like, it just gave us those that like 80s vibe, it was
hmm
like, and then it was just very different from what we play, so from that standpoint, like it was exciting. I remember it was exciting putting that out. I don't, and I apologize, I really don't remember the process of, like what went
That
into
is
it.
totally
Yeah.
totally fine. You do
Yeah.
like there's for anything I ask, you can be fully honest and be like, I don't have an answer. I can't pick an answer. Like, and you
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna
let me
try
know.
my best,
Yeah,
So usually Ian does these interviews and he's really good at them. So,
that's all
um,
right. Yeah,
yeah, so yeah. But
yeah,
no, I just remember, yeah, it's still cool to look, and because I honestly didn't think it was gonna be, I guess, as popular as it is,
hmm
or our most popular song.
that's
But
what I was gonna ask. Of like, was there any kind of moment that made you realize like, oh, this is kind of taking off, or like this is gonna be our most popular song?
yeah, and well, and the thing is, as a band, we're kind of like, okay, what do we play live? It's like, you kind of want to play the stuff that you feel comfortable playing.
Yeah.
And that song, we really don't play it live.
Wow.
And yeah, so I think we're gonna start doing it maybe sometime, maybe next year or something. But
hmm
um, I feel like, yeah, that is the one that we got to bust out live. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it was cool to see, like, wow, I didn't expect that. I was actually a little nervous, like, what if people don't like this song, because it's not
Yeah.
the heavy stuff that we've been putting out. And but
hmm
yeah, I guess they want more of, that type of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
So
they hopefully they like this new album. too, but it's great that they found that, and it is something different from what you might put out, but at least, hopefully they use it as a gateway to get into the rest of the stuff. If they do that, if they get into some older things, is there, because I'm sure you've put out so much stuff over the years. Is there any like deep cut song, something less listened to that you think more people should hear, or you wish more people would hear?
I mean, honestly, if you guys listen to one song of ours, I'm happy, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just, yeah, just, go through the whole discography, go check it out. But yeah, there's not really one thing that, where I
Yeah.
care if they listen to more than the other. But yeah, it's just whoever listens, I'm cool with, I'm game, I'm game with
Yeah.
whoever wants to listen to our stuff. So, of
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's great to just have anyone listening, and like
course.
I think at any level you can find fans. I mean, mostly it's like people I know personally or friends, but like I am fully someone who, I don't care how like big or small you are. If I like it, I like it, and I'm gonna be a fan of it. I'll play it in the car. I'll show it to people, and it's like, I think it's just so cool. So
Yeah, no,
hopefully
that's
that, I'm
that's a
sure there are
great thing.
Coyote Man fans out there who are, who know the discography and are hyped for this album and everything. So
Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I really hope so. Yeah, because we did, this album we kind of it was we busted our ass on this one for sure. And it was just a long process of, writing the songs and not necessarily writing the songs, but having time to polish them up while playing shows and so
yeah,
it's hard sometimes, to
yeah,
get everything down when you got to play shows and what are we going to make this album? How many songs are we going to put on? So there's a lot that goes into all that stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, I hope people are excited. I
Well,
really hope
well, and
so.
another part of that is how comfortable are you playing these songs live? Because I feel like there's kind of an expectation of live shows for bands, for artists who put out new songs, but especially new albums. Um, yeah, new music, especially new albums. You wanna play live. You want to get in front of an audience. And for example, like Zealotry, you mentioned you've played it for a couple of years now at shows.
Mhm.
What's your level of comfortability like playing for through the songs on the album? Because I did see you have not only a show but a record release show coming up in Chicago. So like, what are you looking forward to it? Do you still need some practice? Like, what's your mindset around that show?
I mean, we always need practice, but I feel probably the best I've ever felt playing these songs. It was
Nice.
just yeah, it's just, different approach over the years. It's like, as a musician, you kind of want to, I wouldn't say like show off your skills, but you always kind of, you know, want to play some crazy stuff. And I feel like over the years, like I've kind of toned it down a bit, to where just, do enough to where the song sounds great and you're not, because I would get in my head live sometimes, like, okay, don't mess up, like, but I feel like
Hmm.
we've been playing these songs for so long that we're just super comfortable. And yeah, I have no problems with this playing this album live, which is
That's
which
right.
is
That's
good.
great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly where you want to be. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, going back, you mentioned how long you were doing it. So here's one of these questions that it's okay if you don't remember, but what was the first Coyote Man show like, that first time you guys took the stage together?
Um, oof. Well, the first show that we ever played, it was in a backyard. So we've been together since high school, right? We've had
Hmm.
3 or 4 different band names. Coyote Man is just the latest project that we did. But um, our very first show was in a backyard in like 2002 or three, something like that. And it wasn't until our second show. Like that one was cool, but the second show, like we actually played inside this little hall, and that one was like, all right, this is cool. This is cool. Um, but I think for Coyote Man, I mean, I guess I'm just speaking for myself, but we opened up for the band Brutus. I don't know if you've
Mhm.
heard of Brutus. They're on Sargent House. It
I
was
haven't,
their
but
it was their first time in the U.S. And for me, I mean, everything that went into that show. Uh, we had like 8 days to prepare. Sold out show. Like, yeah, that one for us was a big one. And
yeah.
then after
And I
that,
mean, a
that
show first, like first Coyote Man show and Brutus's first US show. So it's like, it's a
yeah,
perfect fit. Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, man, it's all the shows over the years. It's just kind of they kind of just like jumble up in your head. It's
Yeah.
like, wait,
Yeah.
when did we play there? And like we're always asking each other, like, didn't we play at that place? So
Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta look back, be like, this sounds familiar. I don't know if I just know the name or if we've played there before.
which
Um,
is a really cool thing. Which
yeah.
is a really cool thing to be able to, like forget that you played there. It's like, well, we're doing something right. We're getting shows.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Are you a music artist looking to get your songs on Spotify, Apple Music, and basically every other streaming platform? Then you should check out DistroKid. DistroKid is a music distribution service. It's what I use to get all my music out across platforms, and I find it really helpful. You can manage your songs, lyrics, credits, and even manage releases across artists under one account. I don't think I would have gotten started as early as I did with music if it weren't for DistroKid. So if you want to get started, I'll put their pricing on the screen here. And yes, that does say the cheapest plan is at $2 a month. I know some of you spend more than that every day on your coffees. Like, this is to get your music heard by the world. But we're getting off track. DistroKid has so many additional features like pre-save pages, getting your music onto platforms like Instagram and TikTok, where people can put your music on their posts. If you use my link in the description, you will get 7% off any of these plans, making it even cheaper to get your career started, and so much more. So again, check out my link in the description for 7% off any plan. And now let's get back to the episode. Are there any shows that separate from that jumble, separate from the pack? Any like favorites that you've done?
um, I mean, oh God, favorites.
It's all right not to have
Uh,
and
my,
to
my my
have some
scale my
favorites,
scale
but
for favorite shows is how well I played.
gosh. Yeah, basically I should just ask what
How
show did you play the best
yeah
in?
yeah yeah pretty much because I don't know, all the shows are different. They have their own uniqueness to them. It's I guess that's the beauty part of it. Like you never really know. You kind of have an idea, but you never really know until you get there, and then the people start coming in, then you get that vibe. Oh, we did open up for Taproot, which was a huge, huge thing for us because we were all huge Taproot fans growing up. So
Yeah.
to open up for them like 20 years later, that was a really awesome show for us. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Very
that
full
one I
circle
was pretty
moment.
happy about. Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
And how what's your mentality like for shows? Is there a bucket list of like shows, venues you want to do one day? Or are you just happy with whatever comes, whatever you guys get? Like what's the
Oh,
mentality or
for
mindset
sure,
around live showing?
bucket list venue is the Metro in Chicago.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
the bucket list for sure. Like, I feel like if we ever get to play there, that's gonna be then
You'll
I'll
be
quit.
set. You're
You know,
happy.
that's no, I
Then
don't
you'll
quit, but
quit.
yeah,
No, yeah, you can't quit. You can't quit
no, no,
after
no, no,
that.
for sure, no, 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 that'd definitely get the juices flowing after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there, it would be an honor to play Riot Fest. Go to that every year, so that'd be cool. Um, and just playing with bands that we love, like Mastodon, Deftones,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like it'd be cool to be able to open up for you know people that inspired us. in what we do today. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's sick. I just recently got someone gifted me the a vinyl for Mastodon Hushed and Grim, and that was like my first time listening to it, and it
oh,
was
great
sick.
album.
It was
Yeah,
awesome.
oh,
Yeah.
it's a great album. I have that vinyl too, so yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Where does the name Coyote Man come from? Like what sparked, and you mentioned like having these other bands, other groups. What was the impetus for not only this new band, but also like Coyote Man as a name?
So when we got back together in 2015, things were going good, and then we're like, okay, now things are going good, they're sounding good. Now we got to come up with a name. So, um, honestly, there's really no deep meaning. Now we can put a deep meaning to it, if we really wanted to. But I mean, end of the day, it was just kind of the better of the bunch, you know.
Okay, yeah,
And and I feel like it's one of those names where it's like you kind of don't forget,
yeah,
like if you see, it's like Coyote Man, like what the hell is a Coyote Man, And it's just, I don't know, I just feel like it's, yeah, we had a couple where we're like, okay, let's sit on it for a day, let's sit on it for a week, and then Coyote Man was the one that kind of just, I was like, yeah, this sounds good, this sounds good, it
yeah.
sounds like us. We'll put out something deeper later, but but right
Once
now that
once
was,
we think of something deeper, we'll put
yeah,
out
once we
like
think of something. But I mean, that's cool too, though. It's like, I mean, that's how all bands come up with their names anyway. Like,
exactly.
yeah, we'd all like to have that, oh, that deep meaning of, to make it sound really cool. And but at the end of the day, you just want it to sound cool. You want people
Yeah.
to remember your name. So, I feel like we did a pretty good job with it.
Well, and it's also just like you can't. It's so hard to judge a name early on because you like names that you think sound cool or not cool or roll off the tongue or don't. Like it's also you see some like bigger bands, bigger artists with crazy names, and you're like, wow, okay, I guess that works. And then like really, really cool band names, they're like still underground, barely getting listens and things. And so it's like it all also comes down to just like perception and I guess there's a bit of an effect of like how big you end up getting or not even that, but
Right,
just like
right.
how publicly known it is.
For sure. And I feel like the name of the band is pretty much based off of their music, right? So
Yeah.
if I hear a Mastodon song, I'm like, there's Mastodon. It just
It
has that
makes sense.
Mastodon sound.
It feels big.
It feels, yeah, it's a Mastodon song. If
Maybe
I
a
hear a
little
Deftone
like
song, it's like, that's a
gray
Deftone
and
song.
and like ominous, but yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's all what you make it, and hopefully one day people be like, oh, that sounds like Coyote, that sounds like
Yeah.
Coyote Man song.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been around long enough to have a unique sound or a specific sound. And
mhm.
so yeah. Just getting a bit more into like you personally playing the bass, just anything with music. What was your kind of inspiration to start pursuing it? What got you into music? Anything like that?
um, it was actually uh Augie got me started playing bass. He was just like one day he's like, dude, you should just play bass. He's like, it's easy, just pick it up, because he
Yeah.
wanted to start playing music, or he was in a band, quit, then he wanted to start his own thing. So he's like, dude, just play bass, it's easy. And then I started playing bass, and it wasn't that easy, but it wasn't
That
terribly
hard.
hard where I was getting, where I was like, nah, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So, and then, as a bass player, if there's tons of bass players that know tons of things about the bass.
Hmm.
Me personally, I only know Coyote Man on the bass.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
pretty much ever since I've been playing, or not, well, just whatever we've always played. Um, I never really played, like, we played a couple covers in the beginning, but I wasn't a, oh, let me learn this song. Let me learn this song.
Yeah.
I think because we were so busy making music, so it
Mhm.
was just that's all I know
Which
on
is
my
a good
bass.
problem to have. Like you have
Right,
enough
right,
original stuff to not need to learn other like covers or other songs.
right. And yeah, it's cool until somebody asks me, "Can you play this song?" Like, no. Can you play? How about this one? No.
Yeah.
I can play Seven Nation Army. I, I can play that riff, but that's the extent of that. So,
Yeah. No,
but
I feel
yeah,
like
no, it was just yeah, he had you know I started with him, which I think is just kind of such a cool thing, like I started in the band. Usually people they play for years and then they start, and I was just like
Mhm.
instantly, oh, learn that
Yeah.
and we're in the band now.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the reason why, they're like some bass players or regardless of instrument, some musicians like know all these songs is they start off teaching themselves alone in a room, whatever it is, and then they join these bands. Whereas you, it's just like, all right, I need this so I can play this music in this band. And
Right,
so
right, right.
you just start
That's
you
exactly
you
how it
jump right
was,
into
pretty
that.
much.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
If you love live music and going to concerts, you need to get yourself some loop earplugs. I made a video on my second YouTube channel about loop earplugs. I did a review for them by bringing them to a concert, and they were the best earplugs I've ever used. They do a great job at blocking out crowd noise, but still allowing you to hear the music. They come in this tiny, very portable case. You can see it's like a fraction of the size of my hand. Plus, they just look awesome. I got the ones that they did in collaboration with the Tomorrowland Music Festival, and they look awesome. They say live, love, unite on them. You can see they're in a cool circular design, so even when you have them in, you don't just have this big block plugging up your ears. There's a nice ring, makes it look a bit more stylish than normal earplugs. I have the Loop Experience 2s in collaboration with Tomorrowland, and even with the earplugs themselves, they sent me 4 sizes of tips. Extra small, small, large, and medium is already loaded in there. So there's plenty of customization. It should fit your ears no matter what with one of those sizes. Use my referral code in the description to get 15% off your pair of Loop earplugs. Back to the episode. I just had a similar thing where like I'm not too I play some drums, some piano or keyboard, but I'm not like that good at them. Um and overall I'm very more into like production, making songs, going through the like studio process. And so I had randomly I had a friend text me the other day and was like, "Hey, would you want to do like improvised piano for this like stage performance of something?" And I was like, I thank you for thinking of me. I am nowhere near the skill level needed to do that. I cannot do that. It will ruin your show. Please find someone else.
Yeah. I know. You tell people you're in a band or you play music and they think you're at least for me, they just
Yeah.
think that
They
I'm light
think you can
years
just
way
like play
past my
anything.
skill.
They think you're
Yeah.
Spotify and a human that they're just
Oh
like
yeah.
this song, this song.
You're gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You mentioned playing in bands, even with these guys, like back to high school, everything. So maybe it has been music from the start, anything like that. But was there ever anything else you wanted to pursue? Any other like dreams of something, or just like being in a band and music?
so I was super before I got into like rock and stuff, like I was super into like hip hop and stuff like that. So I remember being in high school and a couple of my other friends, we wanted to start like a hip hop group or whatever. And I remember I wanted to be the DJ of
Yeah.
the group. But my dad said that DJ equipment was way too expensive. So that got shut down. And then just so happens that maybe like a year later I started, playing bass. So
Hmm.
it was for the best, but not I mean, like I said, I've been doing this with these guys for so long that I guess that was my dream, or
Yeah.
that was those were
Yeah.
the goals. So
Yeah.
um yeah, I mean, other than dunking a basketball, that's pretty much that's
That's still
that's the
on
only
my
thing that
bucket list.
yeah, it's on my bucket list. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
dunk
That's
it
about
without
it.
lowering the hoop, you know,
Yeah,
It's on
yeah, no,
on the
yeah, you
10
can't
footer.
cheat. Yeah, 10 footer for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. Um, and then so I guess like start making these songs, you're playing in bands. Has there been any song that you just wrote the fastest or like came to you guys super quickly, anything like that?
Um, I mean, I guess they come together pretty quick. Especially jamming together for 20
However
years.
many,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
decades.
it's. I mean, sometimes like we kind of surprise ourselves. We'll go in and we're like, let's just get a quick jam before we start the set or something. And then we're like, what was that? Like that was great. And then so we've been recording our stuff. But yeah, as we've been jamming for this so many years, yeah, it definitely gets easier writing songs. Um, but yeah, I guess that's kind of a hard question to answer because
Yeah, that's all right.
it's yeah, no, I'm just trying to yeah, because I guess it depends, like um sometimes I'll just go with, what the guitar's playing sometimes, and then like feed off of that.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I said, man, sometimes the music making process, it's just when it's happening, you're in it. But then, once the song comes together, it's kind of just like how the hell did we do that? Like
Yeah,
you kind of forget the process of it sometimes, because now we're practicing
yeah,
the song. Now we're, so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I guess that was a terrible answer, but
That's totally fine. Um, but maybe also no answer or a long answer to this one. But on the flip side, has there been a song that just takes forever to write? You keep coming back to, keep needing revisions of anything like that?
yeah, we do have a couple songs like that, and that's mainly like, we definitely like to have our songs flow a certain way.
Hmm.
So if we're having trouble with the song where it's like, yeah, that doesn't sound right going into this part or whatever, like, we'll kind of just put it away for a bit, and then come back to it, a week later, sometimes a month later, shit, sometimes a year later, and
Yeah.
then, something to fit in there or, whatever. But that's usually the problems that we have
Hmm.
or difficulties, I guess.
Yeah. 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 Well, not too bad. I mean, there's so many times you'll have things sitting around for years, or whether you come back to it and it finally makes an album, or it's just kind of one of those things that you're just like, yep, that's been there and it's gonna stay there.
Yeah.
uh,
It's crazy how riffs, it's like you'll think like, yeah, that one's okay. And then you'll come visit it, like a year later and you're like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. Like
yeah,
we could use that,
yeah.
that's fun.
My so I think it's this song that I have. My favorite band, 21 Pilots, they have a song Jumpsuit which opens with like this really cool like low riff.
Hmm.
And I think in some interview they asked him about like the lead singer who also does like guitar and bass and a bunch of other stuff. They asked him about writing it, and he was like, "Oh, for the past like year plus or all of our previous tour, that was like what I would do in sound check for like getting the bass tones, just like that riff over and over again at every show."
Yeah.
And then they got into the studio for this album, and he like played that, and he was like, what if we tried to put that in a song? And it can be something as simple as that, and maybe you don't see it as like this crazy special thing at first, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And you never know what people are going to find special.
exactly,
That's what
yeah,
I've learned, like people will, you know, I think we're really hard on ourselves as musicians or creators or artists or whatever. We want it to be perfect and all this, but you know what we do, yeah, it's for us, but we want other people to like it as well. So it's like
yeah.
you never know who's gonna truly like that. silly
Yeah.
little riff that you're like, whatever that thing, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like and then it just turns out to be like one of the best songs that you put out. So it
I
happens all the
definitely
time. I see it all the time.
yeah, for sure. And how many of these like huge artists, even that we look up to, going in there, going go into interviews about like their biggest song, and they're like, "Oh, I did not like that one. I didn't think it was going to do very well, whatever it might be." But yeah, I definitely have a theory on this from at least a production side. I don't know how much you get into like the production of the band and your songs and albums, but like I think something, especially for producers, about sitting there and like you've sat at a computer screen and like visually seen all the flaws in your song and like had to fix them, and maybe there's still like
Mhm.
one or two in there, and you put it out and people like it. I think in your head you just think back to all those mistakes you saw and like what the process of what went into it, or like this little tweak or edit that you could have done, this EQ that wasn't just that what like was just a bit off, and anything like that. So
Oh yeah, I'm not in the music production side of that.
hmm
Like I don't
that
get
that
too
that's
into
all right.
that,
Yeah.
but I do. I did used to edit a lot of videos,
hmm
so I feel like it goes kind of hand in
You
hand.
have a
You know,
similar thing
like
for videos, yeah.
yeah, right. It's it's like, oh, take this out, or put the and
Yeah,
I
that
was hard on
edit could
myself.
look
I was hard
better.
on myself with that too. Like
Yeah. Oh,
they're not gonna.
always.
I don't like this, and then they're just like, that's the greatest thing ever. It's like, what? Okay, you're fine. You can have it then.
Are we watching the same thing? Yeah,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
yeah, awesome. I mean, it's like huge respect for you like doing it this long, going through decades of playing shows, being in bands, everything. Has there been any moment that just like really made you second guess or question it, or be like, um yeah, like make you just stop and wonder what you're doing with all the bands, which is a very grim way of saying it, but I hope not. I hope you love
Every
all of it.
single day of my life.
Yeah.
Every single day. But
It's the
it's the grind of it, man. It's the grind, and
it's the grind, and it's part of it also.
it,
Like you're going to
yeah,
feel like that from kind of
yeah,
the same experiences ish that we were just talking about.
yeah, 100%. And but it's like we grind everything. You know what I mean? Like the work, our day jobs, our life is a grind. It's like
Yeah.
I love doing this stuff. So it's like we're just gonna have to we're just gonna have to deal with
Yeah.
deal with the I wouldn't say bad stuff, but the
The
hardships that
other
come with
stuff.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but yeah,
Hopefully deal with it
every day
until
I question.
hopefully deal with it until you don't, hopefully you deal with it and then
Yeah,
maybe something takes off, something happens, and now it's just all in on music. um
yeah.
but yeah, I think that comes a bit back to like what you were saying of doing it for yourself, of just like if you love it, if you enjoy it, you're gonna keep doing it regardless of if you need a day job or anything else for to
Right, for
support it.
sure, for sure.
uh
So, but and I just want to be clear. I'm speaking for myself
oh,
on all this
always,
stuff.
always,
The
yeah.
guys, the guys might feel different, but yeah, I'm just speaking for myself.
Always, yeah. This is. I mean, I'll probably label it Coyote Man. Talk about Coyote Man a bunch. This is for the Coyote Man album, but at the end of the day, it's Rene here from Coyote Man speaking. It's not like the
Yeah,
band as a whole.
right.
um, yeah, yeah, and so, but also then on the flip side of having all this live experience, recording experience, what kind of and just seeing how the music world and world itself has changed, what tips or advice would you give to like new bands coming up, new musicians who are like just starting a career and wanting to get into a band, start a band, things like
Don't. I'm just kidding. No, no, no.
that?
I don't know. Just keep grinding, man. Just keep doing it. If this is what you want to do, um, just do it
You
and
have to
put
go
your all
for it,
into it.
yeah.
Like you have to go for it. There's no. I mean, people can give you advice on how to be on the road, how to what you should do in the studio, what you should do at practice. But end of the day, you have to just do it. Like Nike
And
had it right, just
everyone's
do it.
different.
And
There's no like one formula or one thing
for
to get
sure,
everything right.
Oh, 100%. But I feel like also if the best advice I can give is if you're gonna do this, do it with people that you like
Yeah,
because
big
that
piece
that
of advice I've
I
gotten a
feel
bunch of
like
times.
yeah, that is uh yeah, if I wasn't in this band with Ian or Augie, like I probably wouldn't be doing music. That's,
Mm.
it's just like, we've been doing it for so long that we all have this level of respect for each other. And, we, there's really kind of no beating around the bush either at practice, like we kind of, stuff is told to whoever, like, if we don't like this,
I mean, I would hope so.
somebody's going to
After
say,
like 20 years, I
yeah,
would hope you have the relationship that you can just go, I don't like that. Let's try
yeah,
this, whatever it is, and be that honest and straightforward.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, definitely, keep doing what you're doing if you want to pursue this and do it with people that you like.
Yeah, yeah,
So
for sure. Awesome, awesome. If there's anyone listening who didn't know Coyote Man before this, well, first off, get ready for the album August 14th, but also
yes, August
what
14th.
yeah, what song of yours, maybe it is also maybe it's a single from the album or waiting for the album, but is there any song that you think is a good like intro to Coyote Man? This is the kind of music we make, anything like that?
I mean, the two singles are I I really like Coping Mechanism. That's the first song off the album. I
Hmm.
feel like that's a really good one to get into Coyote Man. Um, and then I'm excited about the one that we have of vocals. I'm excited to hear the feedback on that one. Because that's gonna be the first song, pretty much. Yeah, the first song we recorded with vocals,
Wow,
and
big deal
yep,
for a
people.
Coyote Man.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. But yeah, I'm excited to see what everybody thinks on the 14th.
Yeah, yeah. Who did
So
if I can ask, who did the vocals for that track?
Chris Pacific,
Okay,
Chris
cool.
Pacific. Yeah, he's from Chicago. He's got a project out now, Raised by Wolves. Just put out I believe it's a 3-song EP. It's pretty cool stuff, man. So yeah, he's on the sorry, he's
That's
on
right.
he's doing vocals on that track, and
Yeah.
that's the last track of the album.
And
So
it's a wolf coyote connection. There's the
there you go.
animal
Yeah,
theme in there.
yeah, exactly. That wasn't
Yeah.
done on purpose, anyways. Just to let you guys know, that
Well, no,
was
no, no. It's just like
totally
the
by
band name.
accident.
That's the thing you go back in time for, and you're like,
Right,
oh,
right.
there's a deeper meaning to that.
Yep, yep. Canines, dude.
It's part of the theme of the album.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, the last question I'll leave you with here is again, multiple answers, no answer. Is there a Coyote Man song that is just your favorite? Whether it's you love to play it live, love listening to it, anything like that.
Oh man, there's so many. But I feel like on this album, it's got to be Interpreting Dreams. That's
Mhm.
kind of the one that was kind of my baby that you know, uh, that I had just simmering. It was just played on bass for, I don't know, like 8 years.
A long time. Yeah.
A long time.
Too
Just
long.
me playing. Yeah, me playing on my bass, and then once we decided, like, oh, okay, let's make this album, and then I showed the guys, and then we put everything together, and it came out, I mean, way better than way better than I expected. So, and that's always a fun one. I get to have fun with that one. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that one's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, like, um also, yeah, Coping Mechanism as well. Coping Mechanism on this album, that's really fun to play.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
excited to listen through it all. I've heard the singles, but I have yet to go through the full album. Anyone listening, it's I we'll see how fast I get this edit out. It's either out now and you can go listen, or about to be out August 14th. Go listen to it whenever it's out, wherever you get music. And Rene, thanks so much for coming on and telling me a bit more about Coyote Man and this album.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.